Hi everyone, today I want to show you something about this little headphone here. This is the Meze Empyrean II. Why 2 you may ask? Because Meze has dropped the original Empyrean back in 2018, so yeah, quite a while ago. And has stopped producing them so far as I can tell. They don't also sell them anymore on their website. And this one here is the successor of that headphone. But at this point, a big thank you to Meze Audio for sending me this unit here to my channel for review purposes. But as always, no cash, no talking points, no guidelines. What I can or cannot say were given to me, and I did not accept any money or something. Just to be very transparent with you, is that the link in the description you see is actually an affiliate link that they sent me. So if you want to support my channel a little bit, you can use that link. I get a small kickback and it doesn't cost you more. So yeah, with this now out of the way, I would say let's give the headphones here a closer look. Alright, so here we have the headphones itself. So what are we actually working with? This one here is an open back planar magnetic headphone that currently goes for around 3,000 euros. So more on the higher side of the pricing range. So it sits right between the Meze Elite that goes for around 4,000 euros. And the Meze Poet that goes for around 2,000, and below that is the 109 Pro that I have here that goes for around 700 to 800 bucks. So yes, it is priced quite high, so it is more of a premium headphone. In general, I can just make comparisons currently about these two, because the other two I do not have yet on my channel, but hope that will follow at some point. So the Empyrean II ships with this really nice carry case, and it is a ABS plastic carry case, but it does not feel like a cheap plastic. And it also has this leather handle here, and if you open up that little box, you see some foam inserts, and also here the replacement ear pads, as well as a pouch for the cable. You see a little bit of a manual and so on. Another nice touch is that it comes with a handwritten card that shows the serial number and the employee that assembled this headphone and when they did that. So yeah, a really nice presentation. So all in all, it really does not feel cheap at all. The presentation is nice and what comes with it is nice. But at this price point, it also shouldn't feel cheap. And I'm happy to say it doesn't feel cheap, but this is just a carry case. So let's take a closer look at the headphones now. All right, so here we have the headphones itself. And as you may have already spotted, they look fantastic. I think they really look beautiful. I really like them. I like how they look, how they feel. They're made out of a CNC machined aluminum. And the whole thing here weighs 385 grams. With the ear pads on, it weighs 449. So it is slightly heavier than the 109 Pro, for example. But let me tell you one thing, you don't really feel it. This headband here is quite wide. And it really, when you put it on, it distributes the weight great. So I don't really feel it much on my head at all, even though it's a little bit heavier. I have zero problems whatsoever wearing this for hours and hours and hours on end. It doesn't create any hot spots, nothing at all actually. So this here is one of the most comfortable headphones I have worn so far. So it really sits on top there with the ergonomics and comfort. Maybe just a little drawback or something is, as you can see, if you have a smaller head, they look quite big on myself, but I personally don't really care how I look with the headphones really, because the most important thing to me is that they are comfortable to wear for a long time, because if a headphone is not comfortable to wear, then I can't really enjoy them as much, because it's just painful after a while, and I'm a bit sensitive to that as well. So I'm very happy that they just fit this nicely, and you don't really feel it on the head at all. And I'm very happy with the comfort. So the headphone has very nice cup rotation and swivel, so it adjusts to every head quite nicely. And also the sliding mechanism here, the height adjustment, is very nice. As you can see, it's smooth motion up and down. So you can really adjust it to your head quite good. And it also doesn't make any creaking noise or something. And it doesn't move too easily, and also is not hard to move. So it is the right amount of force behind it, I would say. A really nice design in this case. So the headphones itself doesn't really have much clamping force, as you can maybe see here. It is not a really clumpy headphone, which is okay because it doesn't slide around your head much or something because of the big headband here. So I didn't have any trouble whatsoever. And also no pressure points around the ear or something. So this headphone here also has very nice ear pads. They are very plushy. This one here are the Alcantara pads. They are quite deep. Your ear really has enough space in here. And a very nice feature is, as you can see, they're magnetically attached. Here you see the driver itself. They're looking quite nice. They have a little bit of a dust net here. And they can just easily be reattached like this, and you're done with it. You will really come to appreciate this magnetic removal if you have ever had the pleasure to replace ear pads, for example, from a HiFiMan headphone, where they have like little plastic clips that are sometimes a little bit hard to align and put the ear pads on. It's squeaking while doing so. At least that's what I experienced with the HiFiMan HE1000 Stealth or Aria. So yes, I really do like this here. So this one here is the Anglet Alcantara ear pad. It is a really nice feeling to it, a really soft feeling to it. At the inside, it's perforated a little bit. And then you have here the duo pads, which have a leather material at the inside, Alcantara at the outside. So the side that's touching your ear is an Alcantara material, and also has nice perforation at the inside. And this little metal cover here. And on a side note, at this point here, something that's a little bit leaves a little bit of a bad taste in my mouth is if you look at when you want to replace the ear pads, they really go for around 199 bucks on the Meze shop. So I do think that's quite pricey for ear pads, even though they are very nicely made and will probably last you a lot longer than just cheap pleather ear pads, you know. Still, it leaves a little bit of a sour feeling in my wallet, I would say. I mean, Meze is not alone in this madness. If you look at Focal, for example, or Abyss, there the earpads are even more expensive if you want to replace them. I guess that's just a bullet to bite, but I'm sure this will last me a long time, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. But it's just something, I wanted to name here. To keep in mind if you want to replace these. All right, so let's come to the cables and connectors. The connectors here are mini XLR connectors, and it comes really with this long and gorgeous cable, a very well-made cable in my opinion. This one here is 2.5 meters long, a copper cable, and it feels and looks great. It feels of a high quality as well. And it really doesn't tangle much. It is a really good cable, I have to say. It really doesn't have memory effect to it. It doesn't have any noise to it. A really nice cable. But one thing worth flagging here is that since this here is mini XLR, they look quite securely into place. So this is great for stability reasons. You don't accidentally plug them out, for example, if you just pull it slightly. But a downside of that is if you happen to trip over your cable, the headphones here will come along with it. So keep that in mind, especially if you're as clumsy as me, you really don't want your headphones landing on the ground like that by accident. So if you want a different termination, you can also maybe look at Deconi Audio. So they have like different cables, one with a similar material to this one here and one sleeved. So in case you like sleeve, for example, better, you can look at this cable. You can also easily change the termination there, for example, to XLR 4.4. They have like a modular system. You can easily replace it like this. So it's pretty nice, and I also am an affiliate partner of them. So if you use the link in the description and use this little discount code here, you will get 10% off. So in case you want to replace this fantastic cable, it is for sure also possible with different brands. So about drivability, this headphone here has a sensitivity of 90 dB per milliwatt and an impedance of 32 ohms. So you will need some decent gear to drive these good, but nothing too crazy. So I'm running mine with Quad Hugo TT2. Because apparently I have little self-control over my wallet. But honestly, you don't really need that. You can also run these pretty nicely on a short Mojo 2, for example. They pair beautifully. They have also a nice built-in EQ that works quite nicely with these. It's a nice bonus at least. And no, I'm not paid to say that here. I don't get any money for that and something. All right, so let's come to the most important part now. How does the Empyrean II actually sound like? In short, really, really good. So it really hits a spot I love. It is highly resolving with a touch of warmth in it that makes it generally enjoyable rather than clinical. The bass here is punchy, textured, goes low, and is very satisfying without ever getting like muddy or wailed. The treble here is smooth, very non-fatiguing. It is really an understatement how smooth it really sounds and how pleasant it is to listen to. So I can wear this for hours on end without any fatigue. Even poorly mastered tracks hold up surprisingly well here. There's still a little bit of sparkle, still enough detail, and it never really crosses the area of being too harsh or shouty. It really is pleasant to listen to. So the soundstage of this headphone here is pretty wide. The imaging is excellent. I tested this headphone here across several games, single player games, competitive games, shooter games, and it really performed great. So you feel the full immersion. You also have a precise positional audio, so you can hear where footsteps are coming from, for example, how far away they are. So generally useful in shooters like Call of Duty or Battlefield. So a pretty nice headphone for gaming as well. If you compare this now to the HiFiMan HE1000, my previously beloved headphone I wore for a long time now, the Empyrean II here is noticeably more forgiving while still being highly resolving. It is just a little bit of a different flavor, but for long listening sessions, I tend to like the Empyrean II a little bit more. Because it's just easy to listen to, and you just have a little bit of a more pleasant sound presentation. So if you compare the Empyrean II now to its cheaper sibling here, the 109 Pro, they do share the same fun and punchy DNA, I would say, but the 109 Pro is a little bit more V-shaped and can get a little bit spicy sometimes in the treble area, depending on the track. The Empyrean II here is really just doesn't have that problem. It is really controlled. It doesn't really get too spicy in the top end, while the 109 Pro sometimes had this issue a little bit depending on the track. But something you really need to be aware of here is that the earpads really do make a sound difference. Normally, I personally had the impression that earpads don't change the sound too much, a little bit, yes, but not too much. If I compare this now to my HiFiMan HE1000 Stealth, where I used this, Deconi earpads, real leather earpads, they did change the sound just slightly. You really need to listen for it, but here it really did a bigger difference. So depending on the earpad you choose, the sound presentation changes quite a bit. The Alcantara pad here I like using for gaming, for example, because the soundstage here is a little bit wider and it's a little bit more airy, and also it's a little bit more bright in this case, and the bass doesn't punch as much anymore. And the duo pads actually deliver a little bit more of a more impactful bass response, a little slimmer soundstage, a little bit of a warmer touch to it. So depending on taste, you can select or change the sound of the headphones quite a bit. It's good that they included both of these earpads here, so you can just test it out yourself and depending on taste, choose the one that you prefer. But in general speaking, both earpads work great with this headphone. All right, so now at the end of the day, the science sound is deeply personal. What may sound great to me might not be your cup of tea, because each ear is different, each taste is different, and that is fine. What could be great for me could be bad for you, for example. So it's always on my channel now. I've put together a binaural recording where I recorded the sound coming out of this headphone with binaural microphones. I did a comparison with the 109 Pro now, the smaller sibling, so you can hear the differences a little bit better. But one thing I want to ask you here is, if you can, to please wear headphones yourself while listening to the sound demo, because the small changes in sound become more apparent like this, because really a phone speaker doesn't really cut it in this case. It's more tough to recognize it like this, so try to wear headphones yourself. It will be easier like that. So with this now out of the way, I would say give it a listen yourself.
Can I be your star tonight? You fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side, no. Have me by your side when the sun sets. I hope you'll still want me. I hope you'll still need me a million years from now. The seasons are changing, the nights ever fading. It's time we left the ground. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love. It keeps me high, keeps me high. Keeps me high. Can I be your star tonight? You fill my soul with light the day we met. I don't wanna leave your side, no. Have me by your side when the sun sets. I hope you'll still want me. I hope you'll still need me a million years from now. The seasons are changing, the nights ever fading. It's time we left the ground. Let's leave for an eternity. We'll sail across the lights beyond the sky. I'll be with you eternally. I'm an addict for your love. It keeps me high, keeps me high. Keeps me high.
All right, so that was the little sound presentation. Did you hear the difference? And how did you like the Empyrean II? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, so let's come to an end now. What would I say conclusion-wise about the Meze Empyrean II? So build quality-wise, it is exceptional. You can replace everything here. It's easy to replace. It follows Meze's approach of serviceability. So nothing is glued here. I really like that approach. So on a build quality standpoint, it is exceptional. The ergonomics are fantastic. They're comfortable to wear. They're pleasant to wear. No hot spots whatsoever. Really great. The sound is rich, resolving, non-fatiguing, fun. The price is what it is, so 3,000 euros is a lot of money, and I won't pretend otherwise. But what you get is really a genuinely premium, luxurious headphone that really has its right to exist and its place. I am quite happy with this headphone here in all regards. Of course, the earpad pricing though, I still think it's a little bit too much, but at least to me. But the headphones itself is worth every cent, I think. All right, so I guess that's it for today. If you liked the video, I would be happy if you could give it a like, maybe a sub if you didn't already. And I hope to see you again next time. Ciao, ciao!